What are we going today? We are going to talk about team, we're going to talk about people, we're going to talk about how we can work effective and efficient together. And my intention now, today, is to give you a toolbox, a set of tools that you can use to help you if you are working in a team. Who is not working in a team in this audience? Please raise your hand. You're not working in a team, you're working all alone. Okay. So for these people as well, they will learn how to work in a team just in case someday they are involved in such a strange stuff. Okay. The stuff is called Mission Possible, so very quickly, just to say that we will switch our phones off, including mine, by the way. Okay, let's skip the strange stuff. Okay, thank you very much. And let's start with a nice story. Let's say that you are a product owner, if you like agile, project manager, if you're more traditional fundamentalist or whatever, and you're given your dream project. Oh, wonderful, my dream project is there, I got it, my boss gave me the possibility to do that, and this is absolutely wonderful, I'm going to do a marvelous thing, this is a big opportunity for my career, for my life, it's so splendid, it's so special, it's so wonderful. And now what happens is you realize that you're working in a team and that you have to align a team. And unfortunately, this team is what is called, and this is a wonderful word that we use, euphemism, a cross-functional team. It means that you have people from everywhere in the world or everywhere in the company, and these people are not used to work together. But they are supposed to be joined in a big agile team or in a big, collaborating team, whatever the new setup is today. Okay? And the problem is that these people don't know each other's, they don't know how to work with each other's, and oh, by the way, they have different languages, they have different concerns, they have different objectives, they have different everything. Just imagine on one side people that are used to the business side, customer-facing, representing business, blah, blah, blah. On the other side, you have the techie guy who can arrange any kind of script or whatever you like. And in between, you have people who are used to QA, I guess the kind of people we all are in this room, or most of us. You might have people that used to be BAs, you might have people that are, well, whatever, as complex as you wish. And everyone has their own language. You know the Babel Tower, I'm speaking in a customer, but I see this from a user perspective, you see that from a technical perspective, and we don't understand each other's. Okay? And of course, immediately you discover these kind of issues. And this is a big disappointment. Okay? Nobody is happy, nobody understands each other's, and we see the issues, we focus on problems instead of solutions, we stick to our position, we just break the whole damn stuff, and the dream is gone. Is it something that sounds a bit familiar to some of you? Of course not. This is just my invention, okay? And now, of course, by the way, this project is yours, and you have to lead it till the end, and you have to make it a success despite all these kind of troubles. So what do? Well, basically speaking, you sit down somewhere, cry, kiss your ass goodbye, and this is it. But there are other alternative solutions that I'm going to introduce. Okay? More and more, we're working as a team. And this is more than just a simple word. A team, that's collective intelligence. It is proven that if you put more people around the table, you have more ideas and you have better ideas. And especially if these people are coming from various sides of the company, various origin, various ways of thinking. And especially if these people are all speaking. So that's not only the idea of the big mouths or the important guys with a tie, that's just everyone's idea. And if you favor this kind of collaboration, you will have a better chance to succeed. It's not me, it's Stanford University who says that, okay? So the team is, the job is done by people. So you need to give their role back to them. You need to involve these people into the project, okay? That is about socializing. We all like to socialize. We have tons of friends. I have 1,000 friends on Facebook. Oh, no, this is not friends, no. There are friends I don't even know of. Whatever, but they are friends, okay? So that's about socializing. That's about having the real contact with the real people. That's about having this cup of coffee, but it's more than this, okay? That's about the new mentality or the new kind of society. And I say society intentionally. This is not only companies, this is the whole society. We become more and more social, more and more human. At least we try. So by the way, we need to organize meetings in a different way. We need to hear all these voices because it's more effective and efficient. We need to change the whole meeting dynamics. We need to favor different ideas. We need to favor innovation because we are in a very highly competitive world. And oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, maybe some of you already met me in another conference. I keep on saying the same story. The IT paradigm has drastically changed, and we need to understand that. 20 years ago, when I was starting my career, even a bit before, the ITers were making piece of software for other ITers. That was IT designed by IT for ITers. That was fine. Even if it's crap piece of software, we are ITers, we know how to fix that. Today, our product, our services are not made for ITers anymore. They are made for hairdressers. They are made for the people who serve you the coffee at the post. They are made for your grandma, if you still have her, okay? And these guys, believe me or not, most of them are no ITers. They don't know about IT. And believe me or not, they don't even care about IT. They just want to do their stuff using our product and services. They want to pay, they want to order stuff, they want to book a flight, they want to do everything they want to do, but they don't care about what is behind. They don't care about the IT, and they don't care about these wonderful technologies you've seen all days, here in this conference and every day at home or in your office. Okay. Good. So, of course, we need to have more support, more engagement, more performance, because we need to shift, we need to change this paradigm altogether. And now we are forced to work in a team. So a happy few in there are not yet working in a team, but it will come. I swear it will come. So how do you do that? Brainstorming, mind mapping, and workshops. I'm not going to tell you about the first two. The goals is to free the communication, to communicate openly with each other. Extremely difficult, you know? We have, I don't know who's been this morning to this wonderful presentation about IA testing and these biases, these psychological biases, okay? Very interesting. We are biased. We are used to, shield ourselves a little bit. We don't want to have an open communication. We don't say what we think immediately because it's not social. It's not acceptable. It's not accepted. But from time to time, we need to release the pressure. We need to make sure that what needs to be said is said. And this difficult word, apparently, that's called catharsis. This is it, saying what needs to be said. I tell you, I'm sorry, I disagree with what you say. Okay, very, very difficult to say. Some people are very good at that. There are sometimes controversial people. Some people are not good at that. And they just stay. These are not the big mouths in the room. These are the people who just stay behind and just keep quiet and silent in the meeting, but they disagree silently. Okay? And what we need to make sure of is that these people have their voice, that they are part of the project as well, because their opinion counts. It's not that you want to sabotage. It's not that you want to have any kind of controversial. It's not that you want to have blockings. It's that you need to have the opinion and you need to have everyone aligned in a fair way. Okay? That's about integrating perceptions. Again, back to the bias. I perceive the world in my own way, with my own culture, with my own experience. I'm a white guy, 52, coming from Europe, quite healthy country. So I see the world with my own eyes. When I go to a poor country, Africa, somewhere, see young people shooting in a ball or something, I don't understand that. Or I just judge my own way. And I need to make halfway, go to them and understand how they live, understand why they do that. It is the same every day in whatever action we take. We are very segregated kind of people, and we don't even realize that. We are the gifted IT guys. Not because of money, not because of social status and so on and so forth, but because we speak together and we are used to speak together and understand each other. Lots of people are not like us. But you don't see these other people, or rarely, and you don't communicate. You just stay at your level with the kind of people you like, because this is human behavior. Okay? These people, everyone, perceives the world in their own way, and this perception is key, because perception is real. This is how I see and perceive the world, and because I perceive it that way, it is real to me. Humor might help, but humor is a dangerous tool, because if this is bad humor, then people don't like it. Okay? That's about stimulating creativity. We need to think different. We need to differentiate. Why is your product or service better or worse than another one? Because it is different. Okay, what is different? And if it's different in the good way, how can you improve that difference? How will you increase that difference so that you get even better and more selected? Why do you prefer, I don't know, that brand of shoes instead of the other one? Why would you go for Nike instead of, I don't know, whatever, Adidas or what? Okay? Because there's something in there that triggers an emotion, that triggers your choice. Okay? This is the differentiator. This is why Nike, in your eyes, is better than Adidas, or the other way around. A group is a group. When the group is coherent, when the group is heading in the same direction, is looking at the same objective in the same way, this is becoming a team. And a team needs to be very coherent, but this is not obvious. As I told you, we are working in teams that are cross-functional, so people with different horizons, different perceptions, different cultures, different languages, different views. If you ask what the business is to a business guy or to an ITer, it's totally different view. And if you ask the user, it might even be more different. Okay? That's about giving the right message and learning the message, making sure that everyone understands what you're doing and what they're doing, basically. Looks obvious, but it is not that obvious, because we fail many times, and because we don't reach the objectives many times. How comes? Just because communication is unclear, just because we don't look in the same direction, because we don't say what needs to be said. Okay? That is about envisioning the future. One of the biggest reasons why people leave companies is that because they don't see the future. They don't see, what is my place in here? What am I doing here? Where will I be in 2 or 3 years, even 2 or 3 months? What is this project all about? This is very important to communicate this to your team so that everyone understands their role, their responsibility, their place, where they belong. Okay? And what I'm going to give you now is a bunch of tools to help you solve these kind of issues. Before you start, I was talking about biases, and I heard this morning in the context of IA biases. And I come to the same. I'm not sure that I use the same English as the guy, but he's an Englishman, so he is predominant, whatever. You have the confirmation bias. I only consider what reinforces my views. We like that. If you have in mind that, let's take somebody who is not very controversial, Donald Trump is a good guy or a bad guy. Every information you will read about Donald Trump, if it's reinforcing your view, will be fine. Donald Trump said that. Oh, he's lying again. Donald Trump said that. Oh, he got the guts to say that. See? Very, very common. Attention. I only see what I like most and consider most. This is exactly what Facebook is using against you. You only see friends that you connect with regularly, frequently. And you have 1,000 friends that are somewhere in your database or in your portfolio or whatever, but you don't know them anymore, and you don't see them on Facebook anymore. So they do not exist anymore. Perception. Might be a reason, or not. This is a very dangerous one. This is managerial kind of approach. I own my success, and others are to blame for my fault. Very common, okay? Very destructive kind of behavior. If it's a success, that's because of me. I'm good. If it's a failure, that team was crap. Okay? Knowledge. I trust my knowledge, and I don't look for other elements or views to understand the situation. I know what I know, and somewhere this is enough. This is self kind of fueled approach. Okay? And ambiguity. We don't like things that are too complex. Well, we say that we like to solve riddle and puzzles and so on and so forth. That's great. But basically, when it comes a little bit ambiguous, a little bit complex, we don't like it at all. And we just forget about that. So we just make a quick decision. This is why we shortcut. This is why it's too complex, I don't get it, so let's take B. That's it. This is a bias. Yeah. He knows how to mow, he doesn't know how to, clean the home. All right. Be also aware that there will be some people resisting, okay? Loads of them. You have this active or passive disapproval. Active disapproval, I do not agree with you. These guys stand up, big mouths. Passive disapproval is even worse. I don't say anything, but I fully disapprove you. So I will sabotage somewhere. Okay? Rejection, help refusal. So I want to help you. No, I don't need your help. I don't care. Okay? These kind of people. Tensions, withdraw, depressive, disillusioned people. This company is crap. It's been crap for 20 years. It goes at least to nowhere and no future. These kind of guys. Okay? Opposition, blame, bashing. Right? Ego tripping, okay, I'm so good, I'm too sexy for my car, too sexy for my tie, whatever, and so on and so forth, okay? So, be prepared to that. If you want to go for a workshop, if you want to align a team, if you want to lead that sort of stuff, be prepared to all these kind of things. Have a backup plan. And be sure that you don't come to the managerial bias. If this is a success, this is their success. Yours as well, because you were a great leader, a great manager, a great team leader, whatever. But this is the whole group, the whole team's success, not only yours. And this is what makes the difference between great leaders and poor leaders. A workshop. What the heck is a workshop? Well, we all know all these kind of boring workshops. I swear mine are not boring at all. Okay. A workshop about empathy, okay? Don't immediately jump on Amazon or whatever library online that you like to buy these books that are even better than coming, okay? These books are about empathy, and that's about leadership. Start with Why is an excellent book on leadership. Idiot Brains is about biases and how we work. Drive is also leadership. Emotion Revealed is about the non-verbal communication. It's very funny. Lie to Me, the series Lie to Me. The guy who sees if you lie, blah, blah, blah. This is the guy that is behind. The psychologist who studied and who discovered that each and every human being, wherever it is in the world, might be a pygmy somewhere in Africa or might be, I don't know, an Eskimo in the North Pole, these guys are having 6 or 7 real differentiated emotions. And they express these emotions in the same way everywhere, same facial expressions everywhere. Disgust is disgust everywhere. If you're disgusted in Russian, you're disgusted in English as well. It's wonderful, ain't it? Okay. To the workshop now. How can you ensure open communication? And I've got a couple of tools to help you get this open communication. The first one is called Moody Woodpecker. And Moody Woodpecker is, how do I feel today? That's about it. That's just a warming up kind of approach. This is just to make sure that all the people in the room, in your team, you know exactly how they feel. And they can express how they feel. It might be that they're happy, it might be that they're sorry, it might be whatever. They don't need to elaborate a lot on that, but at least you know their feeling, you know their setup. And it's already a big relief for them to say, well, you know, I'm a bit moody today because whatever, I'm a bit moody today. You don't need to know that my husband was a nightmare, that my car broke down on the way to work, that my little child has a problem or whatever. It's not important. What is important is that today I'm a bit moody, so I'm not very, very open, and it might be that my communication is a little bit, you know, twisted or biased due to that, okay? How do you do that? Well, basically, you give them something to project. This is kind of a projective test. Anyone knows about Rorschach stuff, these tests? That's a little bit the same sort of way. There are loads of projective tests. This is some sort of projective test, but for beginners, okay? You don't see anything, and don't expect to have as much information as from Rorschach test or whatever, but it helps. So in turn, people describe and explain their choice and eventually how things might change or improve. This is also important. I'm a bit moody, but I don't know, if you put the radio on, I'll be happy like hell, and this will help me. Might be. Or if you buy me a coffee, I would be awoken, or something like that, okay? What is important there, the moderator notes the positive and negative aspects, communicate how and when feedback and action will eventually take place. This is for the long-running story. It might just be that this is a starter, you know, to break the ice, okay? What is very important, and you will see it coming a lot in my presentation and in the different workshops, this is about respecting each other. This is very, very important. Okay? It's not about judging. If you come into judging, then you will kill the whole exercise. And you will lose credibility, and people will immediately go for the reaction and end of the game. Okay? Comments or discussion may be optional. So if you don't want to share, you don't share. It's not important. But at least we know that you're happy or sad today. Okay? And it's already something. Just the fact to allow people to say, I'm happy today, or I'm sad today. Okay? Doesn't need to take a long time. Basically, that's just a couple of minutes per people, not even. And what I recommend, that's a little bit, I'll show you mine if you show me yours first, you know? That's a little bit this. So if you want to start and break the ice, you just start and say, well, today, ladies and gentlemen, you know, I'm a little bit tense because I have to speak in front of a wonderful audience, and I don't know if these people will like me or not, and this is important to me. Whatever. Okay? You give them enough time to discover the picture, and I will show you the picture, the slide after. So there are different ways to do that. You can have a printout, you can have this, you know, projected on the wall. The setup doesn't matter much. You can have 20 different characters, you can have just a couple of characters, you can have 200 characters, it doesn't matter, okay? The more difficult it is, the more time it will take to just, you know, choose which one. You start, you ask for the volunteer, and then you go on. Explaining the rules, so there's no possibility for the other ones to judge or to challenge, and make sure that, if there's necessary, feedback and actions are taken. Okay? It goes fine with a small group, 5, 10 people. Hey, by chance, this is the size of an agile team. That's wonderful, ain't it? Okay? The risk is emotional or psychic trip. This is what it can look like, you know? I don't know if you see the pointer there. These people are collaborating to climb up to the tree. That is projective. It's not sad. This is what I have in mind when I see this, okay? I'm flying away because I don't like this project at all. I'm not part of it. I'm not on the tree. I'm the top manager. Where is the light? Okay, I don't know if you see that. Okay, maybe you see it. I'm the top manager, and I'm just, you know, watching my guys doing the job. These kind of things. Okay? It's fun, just a couple of minutes, and then you can start with another workshop, another meeting. Okay? This one is excellent as well to gauge a little bit, to evaluate a little bit how your team is responding to a couple of news. When you are in a company and you have a new project or you have, a big change in the company, you would like to take the temperature, see how people feel about that. Okay? Well, that's the like it or not. So everyone writes 3 things he or she likes and 3 he or she dislikes. You put it on a colored Post-it and you fix them on the wall. Yeah, this is also like all these agile stuff. This is sponsored by Post-it. Okay, so I get a kind of retro fee or royalties if you use Post-its. So please use Post-its, whatever. Topics are prioritized with the help of color stickers. What is important is that you get a direct feedback from your team, and if you can have this more or less anonymized or cool. This is extremely valuable information because for the first time people can express their stuff. It can be, if the situation is that bad, it can be that you just put this that kind of suggestion box and you have the like, dislike. And people can come anytime anonymously and fix their Post-it. Nobody knows who wrote that. It's not important. What is important is that you get the information. And you know what people like or dislike. And then as a group, you prioritize what people like and don't like. And based upon that, you can take the necessary action so that it goes more fluently. Okay? So we review the topics on the wall and get synthesis, improvements, or action points. And nobody gets hurt. This is the principle of this kind of benevolent communication. Nobody should get hurt. Nobody has to stand up and say, I don't like that. It's just, everyone comes in turn, put their Post-it, and then we discuss all together. Again, group dynamics is key. So if you want to do that sort of stuff, you need to be very benevolent. You need to be very much in the I understand you kind of mode. And I don't judge kind of mode, okay? So that's about respecting people. If you see that the discussion in group becomes very emotional, which might happen sometimes, especially if the company or the project is in bad shape and a bit tensed or whatever, you can park. Okay, we'll discuss about this one later. Then you come back a couple of days, couple of weeks later. Okay? So you cool it down. You don't let it explode, because then this is totally counterproductive. Perceptions are not people. This is the way I see the world. This is not necessarily me. This is not necessarily the world. Okay? And what is very important is that's like these planning poker and this kind of stuff. The group decides. So we have collective intelligence at work. Not only my only perception. This is not because I don't like the coffee that is served here that the coffee is bad. It might be that I'm the only one who doesn't like the coffee. It might be that I'm wrong, but it doesn't matter. From a group perspective, the coffee is good enough, so let's not change it. Most of the time, in this case, you need to have an independent or neutral moderator. So you must be above the scrum. You must be outside of the big debate, which is a difficult standpoint. Okay? You should avoid to guide too much, and surely not to decide. This is, again, a group decision. Okay? Are you showing me 5 minutes before the pose, or just a technical problem? Okay. Rephrase. Rephrase is something that is absolutely key in all of these workshops, okay? Oh, if you say that you don't like the coffee, can I understand that by coffee you mean this brown liquid that is served there in the cups? Yes, this is what I call coffee. Okay, because you drank tea this morning, well, whatever. Okay, so rephrasing is key. You need to understand what they really mean. and they need to express what they really mean. That's really important. Okay? It's not about critics. We don't we're not critical to each other. We just explain, and we just work on that. Okay? At a certain moment in time, if the list comes too long, then you cannot manage. And this is not good. So you need maybe a couple of workshops to solve the issue one by one. But what is very important is that people understand and see that something is done with what they gave you. They gave you their heart in this workshop. They gave you their brain and their heart. This is how I feel. This is what I don't like. This is valuable information because I put a little bit of me on the table. So if you do something with that, that's brilliant, because there's a little bit of me in the whole project, and I improved a little bit, towards my own view, the whole project. If you don't do anything with that, there's an issue. I gave you something, you don't give me something in return. That's Cialdini's principle, reciprocity. So next time, I won't give anything because it's useless. You don't do anything. It's not that you have to do everything, by the way, because the group decides. So what I gave you is some sort of evaluated and prioritized by the group. And if everyone thinks this is a very good idea, this is still your idea, but this is the group's decision. See the point? News and fake news. I love Donald Trump and his way to use the fake news. This is about the same sort of stuff, you know? That's about killing perception. In a company, in a project, there are rumors spreading around. These guys don't care at all about what we do. They never work, they are lazy. You know, these kind of things. And it's never said openly. Okay? What is interesting and important is that we just put this as a news or a fake news. And this is about how we are perceived, this is about how we perceive the world. And this is put in words. Okay? And this is to diffuse a little bit, especially the fake news, of course. Okay? What is again important is that it gets as anonymous as it can be. So it's not that we want to hide, that we don't want to endorse our own responsibility, but it's just that it is easier if it's picked a little bit randomly, and if I just don't point at you and you were the one saying that. You see? Somebody said, this is how we are perceived. Do you think it is true? Blah, 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 blah. And then you elaborate on that. Oh, okay, so everyone thinks this is true. What can we do to change this? How can we change the perception? Maybe we need to explain them that this is not true. Okay, but this is maybe not enough. So what can we do? Maybe we need to take a certain action to show them that this is not true. And then you come to something that is improving the situation. Okay? So again, decision about a group, the moderator summarizes, rebuilds the wall, with real news only, and it can even be done as some sort of a newspaper, by the way. You can communicate to, I don't know, your stakeholders or your shareholders or whoever that this is true or this is not true. Okay? I'm speaking in terms of groups interacting with each other, not to the stock exchange, I guess. Okay? So, again, the same rule. I just repeated them over and over again so that it gets into your head. That's about respect, that's about not judging, that's about parking if too emotional, that's about distinguishing people and what they say or what they pretend to say. Okay? If this is, there's at this moment in time, there's an anti-racism advertisement campaign, in Belgium. And we say, oh, this is Mimuna. And Mimuna, as you see her passing by, this is just a black lady. But if you get to know her a little bit more, you know that she likes cooking, she likes ice skating, and these kind of things. So that's about, you know, developing what is behind and getting a grip on who people are reading. Okay. Again, neutral. You see that all these kind of things are very cheap sort of workshop. It just costs time and a little bit of material, but not very expensive props, right? The moderator needs to know a little bit more about the business context. if the moderator doesn't know anything about the context, about the group, about the project, about the people they are interacting, it's more difficult to moderate because you cannot distinguish whether it is true or not. If you know the context, well, you know that this is a news or a fake news, most probably. Okay? Of course, still the same sort of risk, ego tripping, discrimination, politics. Some people use these kind of news to push, their own ego. This is exactly the kind of politician approach. Huh? They use news and fake news just to promote their own ego. It's wonderful. This is the first set of tools. Okay? Open communication. A second set of tools, a workshop, that can be used here is to get to understand each other's. So we are working in groups. Inside a group, with these first sort of workshops, we got to know a little bit more about each other's. Okay? But sometimes we don't even know the other groups that are working with us. For instance, there are these people on the production side who are organizing the test environment for us. I don't know these people. I just know an email address and a phone line. I call these guys and I say, well, I need this environment, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the guy is doing in most cases. Sometimes I just take the time to go and have a coffee with the guy, and maybe we get a little bit more friendly to each other, and then we get to understand each other. I understand his problem. I understand why he doesn't want to give me the environment at the time I request it, and so on and so forth. Okay? And this is about this, but in a speedy way. These workshops are also essential if your organization is changing. If you have a big change in the organization and all the teams are scrambled around and these kind of things, then you need to understand who's doing what. And what are the different roles and responsibility, and how do you interact with them? This is what I'm going to tell you now. Okay, okay, that's about collaboration. So how do we collaborate with each other? These are other books. This one is the bestseller. Most of the workshop that I'm telling you about here are in this one. It's workshop management. It's in English or in French. Choose your side. Okay, the rest, this one is fine if you're working agile. That's how to visualize some sort of stuff. That's a nice one. I think that it's not available anymore, by the way. I just tried to get another copy on Amazon, and it was, out of stock. The other ones are more, about teaming, team spirit, and so on and so forth. Oh, that's wonderful. This is introducing the books, and now we're going to have a pause. So this is the teaser. So next, after the ads. So guys, I invite you to have a cup of coffee. How long is the pause? 10 minutes? 15 minutes? The first part, yeah. I'm sorry? Yes, the first part of my discussion is ended now, so they have a cup of coffee. And how long is the cup of coffee going to take?